So this is a narrative on how to verify the angle seats from the three pieces that we primarily check at hard turn. I'm going to start with 2198s, and I'm going to follow step by step on the work instructions that are already approved. You can see kind of where the device will clamp onto the fixture, similar in all three parts. For 2198s, when you put the part on there, it doesn't matter which way you orientate it, but you'll want to find a sphere. Usually they're sitting right here. You set it in the cup. And if you're nervous about breaking the expensive tip, then you can turn the speed down on the controller. And then you want to slowly move down until you're right at the top of the sphere. You can eyeball this, it's not critical. And then you want to press the free button on the control to ensure you're falling free on this top of the sphere. And then you'll have to click new in the top left hand corner, and you'll want to look at your Z height on the counter. Because we're on the peak of the sphere, we're looking for the top, so we'll look for the highest number, and we're going to move the table back and forth with this control here, and while I'm moving it, I'll be looking for the highest number in that Z value I was just talking about. Going back and forth, it looks like 1.2162 is close. And then I'll press the hold button to bring the arm back up safely. And get the sphere out of there. And then if I push down this button here, we'll bring it down straight, the arm. And then you want to eyeball set it as close as you can to the edge of the cup. And then you can press free, it's not necessary. Once you move over here to click measure, you'll be all set. However, we'll have to observe some of the offsets here. On the length, the default would be 12 or 12.7. So I'm going to change that here. I'll use 12.5 just because it's not that big a deal. And then the speed, general speed is 0.5. If you're nervous, you can leave it at 0.2. That's a lot slower. And then we could hit measure, and the probe will make contact and then start sliding along the surface. Just as a safety precaution, I usually try to keep the mouse hovered over stop. So if for some reason something's happening, or I hear something or see something that's snagging, I can hit stop and it'll stop. If I do that, it'll ask me if I want to discard the data. No, I don't. I would like to keep the data. So here we'll need to analyze what our measurement was. And in order to do that, we'll have to draw lines on each side of the angle to measure the angle. So I'll click on line and then line again. And there's two different ways you can do this. I'm going to show both ways. On this side, I'll have X range selected, and then I'll click close to the edge, but you don't want to catch the radius of that edge there. You click on both sides, hit OK. We have a line drawn here. And the other method is the rectangle, in which case I'll have to click and drag over the angle. Now I have both lines. I click on distance angle and then angle, and then I'll select both lines rather. And I need to select this side. If I click down here, it's going to give me this angle backwards. I need this angle. So I'm going to click here, select all, OK. Nominal in this case is 128.1 plus or minus a degree, I believe, and we're at 128.3, so that's good. I can hit the hold button to bring the arm back up to a safe position to unload the part. That concludes 21.